Coming up here on Circle the Bay Podcast, episode number 32. We go ahead and give our thoughts about the NXT War Games. War Games! Say it, Matt. Say it!
War Games!
There you go, War Games! And also, we're going to go ahead and discuss of what happened on Impact. We were just really, what did Kenny say? And then also discuss about the aftermath of the War Games NXT this past week, AEW Dynamite, Pro Wrestling News, New Japan News, and more. So much content of pro wrestling that will be happening this weekend. So make sure that you click right now. Watch this show. As episode 32 starts, right about now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Eight Podcast, episode number 32, 32. The host, the devious one I can see here with my brothers from another mothers. Of course, we have the John Lennon, Walk with Elias, Harry Potter. I have no idea what he's doing. He could be a mad scientist as well.
Doctor Who.
Like, right? There you go. And that is Mr. MGC, Mr. Matthew Steamboat.
If you're listening to this on audio-only platforms, I was putting this camera stand on my head and wearing 2 pairs of glasses. So just imagine that while you're driving. And keep your eyes on the road, please.
And also we have the heroes of all heroes that is saving us from this bullshit retribution. It's almost there, getting rid of Slapjack, Slapnuts, almost getting rid of Reckoning. It's almost there little by little. He's trying to save us from this pandemic as well. He's getting rid of all this. He is no longer a WWE fan. Now he's an AEW fan. And that is the man with the 12-inch python that flexes for you and gives you the finger and the middle finger to Alvarez and fucking Meltzer and Wade Keller and everybody else. And what you gonna do when the great American hero, Mike Lopez, runs wild on you?
Slowly but surely, Retribution is going to get the F out of here.
The greatest faction. That's right. Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start this off. A lot of pro wrestling content. We're going to go ahead and cover so much. But we're going to go ahead and make it as short as possible for you fans. Now, let's go ahead and discuss of what happened the after, our thoughts about NXT War Games. Say it.
War Games.
There you go.
War Games.
War Games. That is right. So we'll go ahead and actually start it off with Mr. Hero. What were your thoughts about NXT War Games?
It was a cool show. Man, so much wrestling going on nowadays. It's it feels like the 90s. Solid show. Both War Game matches I enjoyed. I feel that the women's match stole the show. And yeah, definitely they've got a ton of talent there, and so they're doing the best that they can with the roster that they have.
That is right. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about War Games?
War Games. So yeah, the men's match, kind of like as I predicted, it was like the good guys' last hurrah, in one sense or another. And, the ladies match, you got to up the ante with the trash can when you can. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was a hell of a match. All of them, even the Ciampa and Thatcher match was a hard-hitting, matchup too as well. I loved it. Every match was sensational. But I did hear a lot of bad remarks, especially from the piece of shit Brian Alvarez. That's one of them, who hates me, which I don't give a fuck. And also, heard it from Jim Cornette, and a lot of people kind of bashed the women's War Games because, yes, believe it or not, I know it's weird, right? Stating that they should have been in this type of match. They went too far. And because, now with the results, Candice LeRae broke her arm, and doesn't make any sense. The Alvarez comments, the pretty much the whole storyline does not make sense. The whole concept did not make any sense of it. Coordinate's remarks was just more, they delivered too much, and they did so much. So I want to hear your rebuttal, Mr. Hero. Do you agree with these two gentlemen, especially with Alvarez?
Alvarez can just go suck on a monkey's nipple for all I care. Okay, sure. Is there a certain limit or a certain line that the women probably should not cross? Maybe, right? Maybe like a dog collar match or something like that, like we've talked about before. But a lot of things the women are very capable of doing these type of matches. A War Games women's match, we've seen it before already, and it's nothing crazy. It's not a hardcore barbed wired match or anything like that. However, hearing that Candice LeRae she injured her arm, obviously, they have to be careful, and again, accidents happen and stuff like that. But to say that women should not be doing this sort of thing, I don't think it's fair. And I honestly, I personally enjoyed the match. So
there you go. There you go. You damn piece of shit. Fuck your 5 stars. It's 5 beers, not 5 stars. But yes, Mr. Steamboat, do you agree?
I gotta say, probably like more disagree with Cornette, because he's always like, I think his analogy was saying, like, if the girls are using weapons, then the guys have to run over each other with trucks. And I don't think it's a bad thing whenever the girls show the guys up. I think it's always, let the girls show the guys up every once in a while. This was probably like one of the funnest. This was one of the funnest matches I've probably seen, like out of like a women's group match, just as like the variety of weapons involved, that you get to see. There's a good amount of variety, and I like the run-ins too. The run-ins were also pretty fun. Added more to it. I could see like how they were building the suspense with Io Shirai. Yeah. But and I agree with Mr. Hero with what he talks about with the injury. Accidents are going to happen, and all you gotta do is just be a safer worker. But the ladies should keep doing what they're doing, though. Don't listen to Cornette or Alvarez.
There you go.
That situation in case.
Definitely. I mean, the only botch. If you guys saw that, or just that Candice put the chair on herself. That's the only botch that I give. Like, I think they kind of messed up on that. I think Shotzi probably forgot to put the chair there, so she put it up on herself. So I think that's probably the botch there. But I agree 100%. I mean, Alvarez's point is, like, there was no plot to it. There's no point of this. What do you mean? Like, there's no plot for it. And, okay, you're mad that the heels won. It should have been the baby faces. So
there's no titles on the line.
Exactly. There's no fucking title on the line. And it's just like, let these women put their performance, let them deliver. And they always do. And they want to deliver more. So be it. Why not? Shit, they're the hottest fucking women's division right now in overall professional wrestling. I mean, they're number 1 for me. Number 2 will be Impact. So, I mean, it's just that let them deliver the matches they want to go ahead and deliver. Why the hell not? And this is a better opportunity for them, because let them steal the spotlight. The hell with them. So, fuck you, Alvarez, for your dumb fucking remarks. I respect Cornette a lot, so, I mean, I get his point. I know he's not trying to be sexist. I've been hearing a lot that he's been saying that. But, I mean, you got to give them a break, Corny. They want to go ahead and actually deliver a match for the audience, for us pro wrestling fans. Might as well let them allow to do it. And so kudos to all those women participating on that. And so just want to go ahead and also mention throughout that pay-per-view, we see the return of Karrion Kross, which we'll talk about right now shortly, of what happened on NXT this past week. And also we see Undisputed Era 1. But the biggest question is, what's next for Undisputed Era? Should they continue? Should this be a trilogy with this feud going on, or should they go to the main roster? So I'll ask you, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts.
It's really, you know, how they're going to be used on the main roster, because, you know, we don't have that crystal ball. And, you know, and what was that other saying? Even the clock that's broken is right twice a day, was the saying was. So who, you know, it would be like a pretty huge feat you have to really go out of your way to make Undisputed Era, you know, fail. I don't want to jinx it, but like they go to the main roster, and then they have them wearing like clown pants, doing like the MC Hammer dance and all that. Like, hey kids, we're the Undisputed Era. What's going on? My name is Rad Adam Cole. Hang 10. Be good to your mother's kids. And then they're all, you know, like if they go that, I mean, then again, we saw what they were trying to do with FTR, so who knows? Like Hat in the Hat FTR.
Oh my God! Oh no! I'm knocking on wood on that. No.
Yeah.
Definitely, Mr. Hero. We'll give rebuttal for that.
Yeah, you know, so like Matt said, it would be difficult for Undisputed Era to be booked terribly at this point. A main roster debut is not off the table. It's not unlikely. It is almost recommended, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I would definitely like to see what they can do up there. I'm sure McMahon is going to have his ideas or his vision for the group, but it would be very difficult for him to screw this one up. But we'll see.
Which he will. I mean, he'll fuck it up. We already know he will. So, I mean, the only thing, if Undisputed Era go to the main roster, they could, you know, feud with Retribution and end Retribution automatically.
That's what we're planning.
Yeah, that's right. We're planning on that. That could be one. Or, you know, they could also feud with the Hurt Business. That could be another great, you know, as well, great feud. But then from there, what's after that? So it's really difficult, because the fact is, where would they go? Raw or SmackDown? And then as a faction, what are they going to do? It just, I mean, yeah, they could try to run all over either brand.
Hurt Business.
Yeah, it'll be a great, you know, to see them in Her Business. But I mean, what will happen? Then the feud will end, and that'll be it. So what's next after that?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would rather them have that sort of thing happen, because I would not want a Keith Lee situation where they're, you know, right off the bat put against the top person that they can't win against just yet, but they're just put there just for the wow factor, and then they're put in a losing situation, and that just brings their momentum down right away.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the Hurt Business would be fine. You know, they could get some wins over them. Definitely Retribution, right? You know, get some wins, you know, over them, and then go on from there. Maybe have them do their singles thing. We've seen quartets before, like Evolution, right?
Yeah.
4 Horsemen.
Yep.
It is possible for them to succeed, even with 4 guys in the same group. You know, each of them could have their own feuds going on in the different divisions. So it's possible if done right.
Agreed. I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, also, I would like to see, let's say, how about having them fight for the NXT World Championship? Have a fatal 4-way for the NXT, you know, within the group.
That'd be something.
That'll be something, right? I mean, shit. If you want to keep them at NXT, why not do something like that? Or even, you know, they still have a lot of potential feuds they could do in NXT as well. I mean, like, you know, El Fantasma de Legado Fantasma, they could, if they add another member to it, that'll be another great another feud right there to see. Build, that faction up, give them a better, you know, a push. Why not? They can even feud with Karrion Kross individually. You know, he's like the man monster. Let's try to stop him, like, you know, like Avengers style. Thanos, he's the one with all the rings. Might as well, boom, he could do it that way too as well. There's so many ideas. That's what you call us.
Fresh ideas.
Paula
right
Beck.
out of the oven.
There you
Got
go.
those ninja, those digits.
That's
Get on
right.
the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That is right. So let's go ahead and move on. Then the aftermath of NXT this past week, we did see. Actually, it wasn't bad matches, to be honest. It was great. I had to give it to them. The one that I was really good was with Ciampa and Cameron Grimes. That was a really good one. I actually enjoyed that match. I don't know if you guys saw that match. So, I mean, I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, did you saw that the Ciampa and Grimes match? Did you enjoyed it? That was pretty heavy hitting.
I actually did not catch that one.
Well, yeah, but that was pretty good. And also, we did see Finn Balor, and then we see, Scarlett coming. And then right there we see Finn Balor. Oh, yeah, you TikTok. Tell your boy that I'm ready. Like, oh. So is this what we're going to see on this upcoming pay-per-view for – I don't know if it's a pay-per-view event. Probably, I'm not sure. They haven't really been in the details of it yet. They announced NXT New Year's Evo. So are we going to see this match carrying across Finn Balor, Mr. Hero?
I want to say yes. And, we got Karrion Kross winning the NXT championship again, I feel. Two-time champion. He didn't lose it. No. So, and I feel that Finn Balor is in that position where he can afford this loss and he can put the guy over and he'll be fine. So I would like to see Karrion Kross win, and I would like to see this match again, or for the first time, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe it was for the first time. I never seen these two gentlemen competed against each other before in any other promotion that I know of. Mr. Steamboat, do you agree with that?
I guess, yeah, Karrion Kross is a really cool moveset, and so does Finn Balor. And, it would be a fun match to see. And Finn Balor, former Universal Champion and several things. Like, even if he lost like 4 times or 5 times, he would still be good. That's how big – and he's a huge name to this day. So,
agreed 100%. I also want to give a shout-out actually to Russ Taylor, who made his debut on television on NXT this week. Former alumni from United Wrestling Network, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, New Japan Strong Style, made his television debut. Did not wrestle, but made a segment. So it's good to see him. And also, I was also impressed with the Killian Day and Pete Dunne. That match was actually great. It wasn't that bad at all. And 2 hard-hitting, European professional wrestlers going at it. I loved it. And the main event was Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez. It looks like Raquel might get his next contender for the NXT Women's Championship against Io Shirai. That's what it looks like to me. She pinned Io. So do you feel, Mr. Steamboat, she's ready for this championship-level matchup against Io Shirai?
Yeah, because, she has that past history. So, it's right now, most of the baby faces, like going back to the War Games match, most of the baby faces are already in a really, strong, popular position. I think it's like the heel girls that are just like a little bit less known that should be going over more right now. So they seem in the right position to win, the heels to win, because a lot of them are more up and coming at the moment. So,
yeah. Do you agree with them, Mr. Hero?
Yes, I do. I am actually I'm glad that they give people opportunities. And I wish we would see more of that in the main roster. So, I've been hearing more about this Raquel Gonzalez girl, and I saw her at War Games, and yeah, I think that title run, debatable, but in the championship match, I would certainly think that she would be ready for that.
I agree because by far lately she main evented this past week, and the prior before, I believe so, against. Against what was it? Ember? Was it Ember? No, Shotzi Blackheart. And then prior to that, she's been main eventing lately, on NXT television. So I think they're really focusing on her and pushing her, and I'm really happy for her. And hopefully that, by far, she hasn't been green in the ring, just little botches here and there, not much, but she's developing by far, and I'm glad these women are helping her, and Paul Levesque pushing her as well. So I'm looking forward to see a lot more of that. Yeah, even your dog says, yeah, I agree with that.
Rough. What heels go over. Rough.
The heel goes over. That's right. We cannot wait for that. Now let's go ahead and move on with Impact. For the first time, Impact hit in their viewers 221,000 viewers on Access TV for the first time. And also for the first time on Twitch Live, they hit over 55,000. So they're happy because, you know, the whole announcement with Kenny Omega, and, you know, Impact was not a bad, you know, episode. Like seeing the Motor Machine Guns. We saw Chris Sabin beating Josh Alexander from the North. We did see Brian Myers versus TJP. Unfortunately, our boy lost, TJP against Brian Myers, but it was a good match. I actually enjoyed it. It was not a bad match. And Mr. Hero, what do you think about that one? I know you saw that match.
Yeah. Going into Impact, you know, you kind of see it as not the one of the. No, it's not WWE, it's not AEW. So, but I wanted to keep that out of mind, right? Going into it, I was looking forward to it, not just because of the whole Kenny thing, but yeah, the matches, the Motor City Machine Guns, right? They made a good match starting off, and then TJP and Brian Myers. That actually, I really enjoyed that match. I saw TJP in WWE, but I didn't see this. You know, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his matches, but I definitely enjoyed this match. And Brian Myers, awesome job, I would say. I wish they would have allowed him to do more in WWE. But anywho,
Right.
But yeah, you know, are we talking about the entire show already, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, great. So obviously, I was one of the Twitch viewers, one of the 55,000, and I had this feeling that yes, we were not going to get Kenny in a match, certainly not, or nothing too significant, right? But he was in the back of the van, or he was in a van outside in the parking lot. I believe it's Rich Swann, their champion, right?
Yes.
So Rich Swann is trying to come out there. The security guard is not letting him, saying, "Oh, the champion's in the parking lot." Like, what? You know, oh yeah, the AEW champ Kenny Omega is back there, and I would certainly be insulted at something like that. I really thought that Swan was going to pop up the next night at Dynamite, you know, to kind of attack Omega and like, hey, you know, I'm the champ and this and that. But kind of going into this topic of the mergers, or not mergers, but like crossovers, there was not a lot said in this promo or interview that they had with Josh Matthews. But there was a few nuggets of important information here and there. And most importantly, that Omega wants to collect, right, different titles from different places. I find that really, really interesting. And could that happen? Could he, or would he be allowed, not just by AEW, but by these other companies, to carry their gold? If I'm AAA, if I'm Ring of Honor or whatever, I would see the results of Tuesday, the ratings and all that, and I would be like, this is gonna bring eyeballs to my product, to my company, right off the bat. The numbers don't lie. You know, they saw spiking numbers. I was among them, and I actually looked up, how do you watch Impact? Like, you know, now I know. Now I know it's on Tuesdays, Access TV, or on Twitch.
Yes.
Where before I was not. If you would have asked me, I probably wouldn't have known. But there you go, the difference that they can make.
I agree 100%, absolutely. During that time, also with Impact as well, want to name the rest of the results. The women's, the Knockouts Women's Tag Teams Tournament as well. We see Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary defeating Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly, advancing to the semifinals, which they will be facing. Tasha Steele and Kiera Hogan, which we already have the other upcoming one, which is Havoc and Neba versus Jordan Grace and Jazz. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to see who's going to win that with semifinals and who's going to make it to the finals. I'm looking forward to that. The main event for that was that Mike mentioned was, you know, Rich Swann and Willie, the return of the Mac. That's right. So South Central native Willie Mack teaming up versus against Moose and Chris Bay. Obviously, the heels, Moose and Chris Bay, won that one. But yes, I agree with you 100% on that. promotions to start looking at that. And that's something we had discussions about previously before. So don't forget to look at the archives, ladies and gentlemen, on here on our YouTube channel. Don't forget as well. So we have discussed that before, that promotions are going to be looking at that. They're going to be intrigued. Why not? You know, Kenny Omega saying I want to be a collector. I'm like, But you know what? The other thing that caught my attention. Did you hear when Don Callis said when they left? I told Josh Matthews, okay, all right, kid, got to go to Stanford. I'm like, what? Don't you mean Jacksonville? Why did you say Stanford? Right there, it caught my eye for a minute. Wait a minute, caught my attention. Is WWE has something up their sleeves that we don't know about? You know, when he said collector, I mean, shit. I mean, now you're really giving me. We discussed about it in the archives. They have to give in, and if this doesn't happen in fruition, I'm calling it right now. Here, I'm saying it first. They're gonna go to WWE somehow. Either NXT. I don't see him in the main roster. I see NXT. I have a feeling that he's gonna go to Paul Levesque's gonna be like, "Fuck you, Vince. I'm gonna talk to Tony Khan. I'm gonna talk to Don Callis.
Best for business.
Best for business." And I see it. He did say
Yes.
Stanford. Why did you say Stanford? Stanford, Connecticut, not Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know if you guys heard that. You guys heard that when he said that, right?
But see, I didn't catch that. I heard Stanford.
There you go.
But I thought that they were telling Josh Matthews to go back to Stanford. That's how I heard it.
Me too, but I kind of like heard it like I replayed it like back like over and over and like. All right, I'm heading back to, yeah, it sounds like it, right? But it sounds like they're saying it. I don't know. Could be a subliminal.
Yeah, I would have to rewatch it a few times.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch it too, but it sounds very subliminal. I don't know. That one really caught my attention. I was like, wait a minute. Don't you mean that you're going to Jacksonville? That's just, you never know. Maybe I'm hearing something else, but maybe that's what I want to hear. That's a pro wrestling fan. So,
I've been wanting to hear what MGC has to say about his boy Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah, what your boy?
So all over the show, like starting from the X division. So TJP and his match, immediately after that match, Raj, the current X division champion, was mocking TJP. Yes. He was like, okay, maybe Rohit Raju, and he was like, maybe buddy, you'll get a shot at this championship, but not right now. And he was like, little brother and blah blah blah. And TJP could actually afford that loss. And basically he said, like, before the end of the year, next year, I'm down to defend this championship, X division championship, to anyone
except you.
Except you, he says to TJP. Yeah, but that is anyone. So that's just about any promotion, more or less. And the thing about the X Division title is, to me, that's probably one of the most unique treasures that Impact has, because they have the Ultimate X matches. They have like the unique X Division style of wrestling, and so many like your Christopher Daniels and your AJ Styles, and all that lineage, all those Low-Ki, all those past wrestlers, Chris Sabin, have been X Division champions.
Yes. So
the thing I probably want to see the most is probably see that X Division title defended on, NWA, AEW, Ring of Honor, because it's such a unique title, the type of matches involved with it. Now, continuing on to, like Rich Swann in the interview, he said is like notice Kenny, another thing Kenny says, like, oh, you were friends with Ambrose, right? Tough Enough season 1. He didn't call him John Moxley. He used and I don't know if that's like a fine for AEW using a fine for AEW or Impact using WWE copywritten names or whatever. So well, he's using like the WWE name Dean Ambrose. Like, you're friends with Ambrose, huh? Let's say you like that. You're another Stamford stooge, says Don Callis. And, and Kenny Omega on both Tuesday and Wednesday said something about like, I don't want to they're not ready for my big surprise. So on Twitter, like last night, Kenny's already starting kind of a little bit of a flame war with Jerry Lynn, and Jerry Lynn is current coach for AEW, but he's got a huge history with that X Division title belt. In addition to that, Jerry Lynn, one of his other hugest rivals, is somebody who recently left Impact, and we don't know what he's up to, Mr. Rob Van Dam. So who knows? There could be some kind of angle with Jerry Lynn, Rob Van Dam, and Kenny Omega cooking up. So that's what I have my fingers crossed for.
Definitely, man. I love it. I love your prediction. Like your prediction. I love it. I love it. But definitely, I mean, going back, maybe Don Callis did tell that to Josh McKay. Go back to Stanford, maybe. You know what? Maybe I heard wrong. I was just getting my hopes up, man. Damn it. I just wished.
You're another Stanford stooge.
I'm not a Stanford stooge, man. Okay. I'm
not
a mark.
It's not outside of the realm of possibility for that to happen, in my opinion.
Agreed. 100% agreed. And speaking about big announcement, I mean, let's go ahead and move on with AEW Dynamite. Man, I love AEW, man. AEW once again knocked it off the park. Obviously, their viewers were close to hitting 1 million viewers overall. They hit 995,000 viewers, while NXT keep on steady, 659,000, which is it's not bad. I don't feel NXT is. I think they're their own entity. I don't see them trying to compete for the Wednesday Night Wars against AEW right now. AEW is overwhelmed with so much talent and so much surprises, especially with this Kenny Omega, the cleaners, American Japanese style. I don't think they really give a shit about it. I think they're just more their own entity, and they're just all right. Whoever wants to see it, see it. That's how I feel about it. My opinion about it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. So, I mean, but what do you think, Mr. Hero? Is that a no?
That's loser talk. That's accepting defeat. That's no, absolutely not. They know. Oh, you don't think NXT would want to be winning on Wednesday nights? Oh, definitely they would. Mm-hmm. But the advantage obviously that AEW has is now they have Sting, Sang. I don't know. There's just all this hype coming into AEW. Shaq, freaking getting water thrown on him and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure NXT would love to be winning this quote unquote war. But what I've always wondered is, do YouTube views come into play? Does DVR come into play at some point, or is it just the number of the live airing that
they do come into play with that? Because DVR does count, because once you hit the record, that's already a demographic that you're watching. So that's a demographic. So they're counting. So that's counting overall what the views are. And also they have their demographics of during the time during this match, how many people are watching that match. So they have that. That's why Jericho's a demo god. So every time that he comes out, he gets the most hits. That's why he calls himself a demo god, because of that. But which he is. He's a GOAT. Jericho's
of course.
Jericho's the GOAT of professional wrestling.
Well, I give a DVR view to both of them, so
there you go. Good. It's all good. So with AEW Dynamite, we see the opening match, Young Bucks, defeating Hybrid 2. I call it 2.0, but Hybrid 2, I guess. But it was a great match overall. I loved it. Man, kudos to the Young Bucks, man. They make – damn it, man. This is the best tag team fucking division they ever have. Yeah. Love it. Evans, Angelico, phenomenal work. I love the work in AAA, Lucha Underground. These motherfuckers could go, man. And I love it that, him and Young Bucks. Did you actually enjoy that opening match, Mr. Steamboat?
It was so good that it went down my throat and made me cough.
That's what she said.
Sorry, folks. Those things happen randomly. It's just like when Angelico puts you in a chokehold. You'll definitely be coughing like that after his collection of special luchador submission style. I forgot what the term for it was, though. but that special submission style that he has in his arsenal, because people usually think of them as just high flyers, but he's got that it's different from like those Canadian holds and the World of Sports Wrestling holds, and like your Ricky Choshu holds and stuff like that. It's a very he's got some cool submissions in Arsenal, and I wouldn't mind seeing either of them hold singles titles.
Yeah.
They've competed for them in AAA, so so it was a pretty cool match overall. I want to watch it again. So.
Oh yeah, Mr. Hero.
Yeah, top-notch match to start off the show. Both teams, and it's crazy because both teams just give it their all, And in my mind, I'm like, how long can they keep this up, But it seems like they've got the handle on it, and yeah, I'm enjoying these tag team matches. Anytime I see a tag team match announced, I'm all over that because I know it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially then we see Acclaim got involved, attacking the Young Bucks, and then we see SCU coming to make the save. Now and how Mike said in the archives, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you watch the archives. He did mention that he loves the fact that AEW announces their matches quick automatically, and they already announced it. Acclaim versus SCU the next week on Dynamite. So it's like, damn, already like that quick. So I love it, and that's good shit. It's good shit. And I love how the Young Bucks are giving these these other teams opportunities, and I love that they're pushing Acclaim. It's not a bad team. Tony Khan put this together, and so I love it what he's doing by far. And shit, I'm hoping. I think overall AEW has the best tag team division of all in professional wrestling. That's how I feel.
I love that the Acclaim are a heel tag team that could talk.
Yes.
And not just like another team that's like, I mean, I haven't heard a whole lot of like talking it. Like I've heard only just a little bit of promo ability from the Butcher and the Blade.
Right.
The Acclaim, just because they have like the rap gimmick, that's going to make feuds so much richer, Yeah.
You can't see me. You can't see me. Like how Dwayne Johnson would say it. Oh, man. And then we saw the Stang segment coming in. Arn Anderson telling him, okay, I don't know. We go back a while, for a while back, so I'm out of here, blah, blah. I don't know why you're here, but I feel like I do know why you're here. And then Cody, well, sir, welcome back, sir. Staying, like, I'm not here for you, buddy. I'm not here for you. I'm here, because I'm here for a very long time, and I do business how I want to do business. And hugs Cody. Like, there was, like, so much tense. And, like, see you around, kid. Bam. Like, but then, throughout that segment, looking at Darby Allin and, up in the bleachers, and, like, fuck, now, what is – and there's obviously reports of rumor your windows. We're giving our opinions, ladies and gentlemen. We're not fucking Alvarez, okay? I have to give respect to Meltzer. That, his mother's – I respect that. I personally have nothing against Meltzer, but only just his business-wise is where I have against him. But the other piece of shit, fuck him overall. I don't give a fuck. He kissed my ass. Brian Alvarez. But what do
they say?
Well, basically, so Sting is, with this, the details of his contract, he will be wrestling. He will be having in-ring competition. We don't know when is he going to have it, but Khan, obviously, first of all, this is how this whole ordeal went down. Khan was the one that had Sting in private. Tony Khan was the one that signed him personally. The Young Bucks or Kenny or Cody did not knew about this until that day that he showed up. Oh, well, look, Sting's here. I signed him like weeks ago. What the fuck? He signed him weeks ago? You didn't tell us? Like, kept it a secret. And that's awesome. Tony Khan doesn't have to tell anybody shit. He's the freaking owner. He's the CEO. He can do what he wants. And so, and then obviously there's contractual agreements that he will be wrestling, competing. He will be doing segments. We don't know. I mean, we don't know what type of matches he's going to have, or is he going to have cinematic matches, like with Matt Hardy's type of style. We'll have to wait and see. As of right now, we're just seeing just the tease, the begin, just the beginning, the fruition of Sting. So I want to know once again your feelings. So Mr. Steve, but I'll go with you because that's your man, Sting. Do you want to?
obviously on everyone's minds is the Sting's past injury with Seth Rollins. But you have to keep in mind the kind of wrestlers that are in AEW, and they're definitely some of the safest workers there. And the main one would be like one of my dream matches, Sting versus Kenny Omega. And here's why Kenny's actually the best opponent for Sting in terms of safety and working. Kenny Omega has faced a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old girl. She was like 8 years old, a little girl, and she didn't have a scratch on her. She wasn't broken, no broken bones or anything. So if Kenny could work safely with a little girl and not hurt her, he could work safely with a 60-year-old wrestler who's been wrestling most of his life and is also knows about, like, you know, move spots and maneuvers, you know, and Kenny knows how to work, would know how to work safely with like an old lady if he could. I'd trust him like if my grandparents were still around. I'd trust Kenny Omega to wrestle my grandparents. Like yeah, 100%, because that's how safe of a worker he is. You know, if he won't harm that little girl, he won't harm Sting. You know,
I want to see that match. I've never heard about that. Wrestling an 8-year-old girl. Jeez.
You know about it?
You didn't know about that one?
No, I've never heard about it.
Everybody talked about it. That's the whole reason Jim Cornette hates him.
Yep. We have a chance, Matt, after the show, send him the YouTube link for that one so he can see it.
Yes, I know.
It was a good match. I'm not gonna lie.
There's another thing I'll definitely show you guys either in the commercial break or after the show is Sting's comedy ability. Not as Joker Sting, but it's like a whole different side of him, kind of like a very sassy Sting that not that many people know about. So that's he brings a lot more to the table than just the silent, dark brooding or the good wrestling or anything like that. He's a very versatile character overall. So.
All right, Mr. Hero, how do you feel about Sting in the ring?
I still can't get over the 8-year-old match. He could have a match with that Bailey fan girl.
Izzy Mania.
Izzy, there you go. But anywho, with Sting, I get the sense that yes, he had that silent brooding character, but something tells me that's not going to be what happens here in AEW. He was very happy to be there, a very upbeat, and for good reason, right? Coming back to TNT, stuff like that. So, it's all good. I saw a post in a group. I'm in an AEW group in Facebook, and they made a post about how Ric Flair at 61 had those hardcore matches with Mick Foley and TNA.
Yes.
So, again, it's not outside of the realm of possibility for Sting to have a few matches. They in the AEW website, they already have his profile there with the record 0-0 ready for him to add some numbers in there. So and I'm sure they're gonna give him some positive numbers. So a Kenny Omega match, sure, yeah, sounds good to me. Sign me up. Him and Cody. I'm sure Cody is just chomping at the bit to get in the ring with Sting. And any number of matches there that makes sense. So yeah, I'm all for it. And there's a lot of people that don't want Sting to get into the ring because of things we've seen with Undertaker, Goldberg, and the list goes on and on there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm all for it. Sting, who knows? Maybe he can challenge for the title. We'll see. Oh
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see on that. And then let's go ahead. And then we see FTR versus Varsity Blondes, the new Hollywood Blondes. Griff Garrison and
Stone Cold Griff Garrison.
Stone Cold Griff Garrison, and you have Brian Pillman Jr. versus FTR. Another great tag team match. I love the fact that FTR is really selling for these two, upcoming stars. I know, everybody has a different opinion about Brian Pillman Jr. For me, I feel that he's great as an individual. I love his character, love his work as a singles competitor. Not bad for a tag team. I love this as well, that pushing Griff Garrison. I love it. It's about damn time. And hopefully, I wish him the best in the future in AEW as a tag team, the Varsity Blondes. I love the name, by the way. Good pick. I love it. Love it very, very much.
Is it just me, or does Griff Garrison look like Jungle Boy?
He does look like Jungle Boy, right? He does look like Jungle Boy.
But soon he will become Stone Cold. No, I'm just
Right?
Gotta shave that head.
He shaves that head. He goes singles, you know, or he
like-
goes on a singles run by himself, like he did back in the days, you know. You never know, like how Austin went singles.
Griff Garrison 316.
Garrison 316. There you go.
Garrison 316. You know, but like as a baby, I like new babyface tag teams. So I'd say the show is like a good debut for like a new babyface tag team and a new heel tag team to add to the roster. And both of them just enriches the division so much more. And let's not forget, you know, Impact tag team titles coming into the picture.
Yes.
You know, because you got the Good Brothers and you have the Motor City Machine Guns.
Got the North.
And the North. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much tag team there as well, and Impact as well that I can't wait to see them if they're going to do crossover promotion. One of them going to Dynamite. You never know.
One of the other two things I'm praying for is the Briscoes and the War Kings. War Kings from NWA and the Briscoes from Ring of Honor.
Oh my God! Imagine, shit. That'd be good shit right there. That should give me the chills a little bit. But yeah, Mr. Hero. I mean, what do you think so far about Varsity Blondes? What do you think so far about this group? You like it?
Yeah. For me, for the American Hero, opportunity is what I like. And man, you know, again, I'm glad that they're on Dynamite. I was about to say Impact. I'm glad that they're on Dynamite, and you know, giving this opportunity, and with FTR being able to you know, give them a good match and stuff. So it gives me more. I mean, I've already had respect for FTR, but it takes it even more up, I would say. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Definitely. And then we also have the Hangman segment, looking for two partners. And of course, we see our brothers, the Dark Order. That's right. We see them there. And now we got our boys. They're going to go ahead and join a Hangman and a six-man tag team next week. See, this is what I love about Diamond. They're like how Mike said, they're jumping right away and making these matches. It's incredible. I love it. You know, that's why I said last week on episode 31, if you guys watch it, I did say that WWE has a blank piece of paper here. They're just watching this damn fucking show. They're watching their competitors. What the fuck are they doing to getting so many viewers and we're not? So that's my opinion, how I feel about it. And I'm pretty sure both of my brothers here agree with that. I feel like they're watching the product 100%. They deny it. I don't watch that shit. Yes, you do watch it. So don't lie, Bruce. You're watching that shit. Don't lie. And I'm pretty sure you're telling Vince, hey, you know what? Hey, pal, you know, you got to watch this shit. You know, they're almost hitting 1 million viewers and watch while Raw and SmackDown is under, damn. It's horrible. But yes, I mean, move on with that. We saw this. Now let's move on with the Shaq segment. I mean, Matt does it better than me. Go ahead, Matt.
It's like they really need subtitles. Like, of course, like you need one. Like you need one for Hikaru Shida and Riho Abe, like speaking Japanese. You need somebody to translate Shakanese into English.
I like that. I'll make a shirt.
It's like the second.
Make a meme out of that. Make a meme out of that.
It's like, and you know what? They should have it be Michael Nakazawa be the translator for Shaq. just like he's saying, like, hey Cody, I had a lot of jokes for you. Your girl will teach you how to wrestle. You know, I'll be the champion, Cody. Yeah, we're wrestling. And I got big hands, and and I have a strong feeling that like on the free throw, like there's gonna be a free throw contest at some point, because like harkening back to Scott Steiner versus Triple H, they had like a muscle pose off and a push up contest. So I'm wondering if they're gonna go that route where they have something ridiculous, like let's see who could do free throws, and then Cody, like they rig it so Cody hits the free throw from the 3-point line, and Shaq bricks it like he always does during Laker games. Oh, brick! Shaq always bricks the free throws back in the.
I can see that as a cinematic match.
Yes, right? A cinematic match at Cody Rhodes' house. I mean, shit. I mean, so far it's going to happen. We're seeing this feud. Now, it's going to be Shaq and Jade Cargill versus pretty much Brandy and Cody. It's going to happen later on. As of right now, we're seeing just only the women's having that tension heat. But we still haven't seen Shaq and Cody yet. I think it's going to come in the picture later on.
It has to build up. It has to be risen. There, if you're gonna have someone like Shaq, who he's retired, he's a businessman. Why is he gonna get into the ring? There has to be a purpose, right? So definitely it has to build up. Right now it's the water, but then it's gonna keep climbing up until it reaches that boiling point. And honestly, like, okay, I feel WWE does this also, where they bring in somebody from the outside and they give that person certain amount of TV time, and it takes away from the talent, right? Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that AEW is having that balance where, yes, you have your awesome matches, Hybrid 2 versus Young Bucks and all these other great talent, right? So there is space there is a room for the technical and the high flying stuff and the wrestling, but there's also time for the entertainment. And it's very, very important that they don't get too carried away with the entertainment aspect like WWE does, but they're able to balance out the show.
I agree.
That's very important.
No, I agree 100% because they're doing this within a 2-hour show time period. To fit in all that much, all those matches, fitting all those cards into one, those segments into one, it's fucking incredible. I mean, I have to give it to them a lot. That's why kudos to AEW for, like how you said, like, hell yeah, they put that small entertainment. Even the Hangman entertainment was entertainment with Dark Order. That was a great entertainment there too. So, Sting wasn't an entertainment, but it was more like, oh shit, we want to hear what Sting had to say. That's why everybody was waiting to see what it's. I love the whole fact how they're doing this, and it's like I said. I mean, no, we may sound like marks, well, which I don't. We're not. We love professional wrestling overall. We love every aspect of the world of professional wrestling. Oh my God, he just put a Shaq right there behind you.
So it's like, I think he's gonna cover Cody in the Shaq soda. Just be like, hey, I got the
oh my God,
Cody. I got the Shaq soda.
If they have like the mimosa match or whatever,
yeah,
but with Shaq soda, I would just jump right in because Shaq soda is pretty good.
I still have not tried it because I really don't drink soda. Man, but overall, I mean, you're absolutely right on 100%. I really enjoy this so much, and I can't wait till next week, which we'll get into that because somebody's not happy because somebody's showing up in 2 weeks at AEW, who's a Hall of Famer. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Just want to go ahead and finish with Dynamite right quick. So we did see the Inner Circle segment. We did see that. Jericho, what's going on? We're in, we're done, or what the hell? That was another entertaining segment, how you said, Mike, like very entertaining, very quick, and I loved it. Like, I love the fact how, Jack Hager, I don't like the fact that he's staring at me. That's like another little funny one. And go ahead, Mike. Kill it. Take it away.
Finally, one of them addressed it. I mentioned it a few weeks ago that, like, have you ever noticed that Hager and Wardlow are always like staring at each other? Yes, it is a little odd for that to be happening. But hopefully this leads to a match eventually.
Oh my God!
In the long run, like this slow burn booking, I really like because when it does happen, man, I expect good things out of those two. So this segment, honestly, I feel like it could have been included last week.
Yeah.
Jericho was frustrated, like, oh, screw this, are we gonna be a team or not? And shake hands. All of that could have been condensed to last week, I feel.
Yeah.
However, AEW doing their thing, making announcements for the following week. They said, hey, you know what? Let's put this next week. And so, yeah, it happened. It seems that they're going to try to be on the same page. Man, how icy hot was this segment? I really think that the coldness in the Inner Circle versus how hot they were at each other. It just goes to show that this group is awesome talent. Sammy Guevara and MJF are at odds. There's the heat right there, and the icy stares that Wardlow and Jake Hager have with each other. So big ups to me, to not to me, but to the segment. Great segment, absolutely.
I fucking love you, man.
Awesome.
I don't think I'm gonna stop with these Shaq jokes until this feud's over. Until
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, people that are listening, besides watching our YouTube channel, also thank you for listening on Spotify. So if you're hearing this on audio. So you basically we have Matthew Steamboat. He posted his background of Shaq holding an icy hot patch. So that's how Mr. Hero started rhyming with the icy and the hot, and he patched things up. Oh my God! Jesus Christ! I'm holding my breath. Oh my God! Ooh, those my breath. Oh, so, oh, okay. Hey, shit. See, I'm
that's
trying
what
to
happens when AEW recruits Shaq. There's gonna be like icy hot patches, Shaq food
Papa
soda,
John's.
like
You forgot Papa John's, bro.
Oh, Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Isn't he?
The
He's also
general.
a firefighter too.
Oh, and the general too. You forgot the
Not
general.
the general, but the general.
Yes.
Insurance.
General.
The insurance, general insurance. You forgot about that one.
Like all those different things are coming with Shaq to AEW.
They're all
like,
going with Shaq.
Carnival Cruise.
Carnival
Yeah,
Cruise,
the Carnival
Papa
Cruise.
John's,
Man,
What was
Shaq
it?
is everywhere.
Kazam. There's going to be like a Kazam match where he's dressed as a genie.
Oh
And
my
then,
God,
like-
please no. No. Jesus.
So much crap comes
I'll
with
drink to
Shaq.
that.
And yes. And by the way, who was it? Wait, who was in there? Was it Santana or Ortiz was in there? I forgot. Keep forgetting.
Santana
wasn't there.
Wasn't there.
Okay, there you go, Santana. Because I'm pretty sure everybody already knows, but Santana's stepfather, passed away. Condolences to his family, to him. So very much. Also mentioning as well, condolences to the Tiny List. Thomas Tiny Lister, aka Debo, formerly known as Zeus, rest in paradise. We got the news that he passed away as of today.
Next Friday, Star.
Yes. So another condolences to formerly known as Zeus. Great character. Okay character. I'm not just no pun intended to disrespect him. But this is back in the WWF days, back in the 80s era. But rest in peace, man. I love you, man, and rest in paradise to you, man. But yes, go ahead and move on. Just go ahead and positive note. We did see the 6-man tag, Butcher and Blade, the family with the family, Eddie Kingston, Butcher and Blade versus Archer, the Lucha Brothers. Another good match. The only thing was that I love the Lucha Brothers, but damn, man, they don't give two shits. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that part that Phoenix hurt himself, that suicide dive, and yeah, they gotta be a little bit more careful, man. I don't know. I don't know who's in charge of them. I think they need to talk to them, like calm down a little bit. I'm not saying that they're overdoing too much, but damn, if you're gonna land a move, make sure you're landing it correctly, that you're avoiding yourself getting hurt, because as by far, I mean, we see mostly Phoenix hurting more than Pentagon. Like shit. I hope Phoenix be careful with that, So I mean, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about that?
In the big scope of professional wrestling here, things that have happened in the past in WWE have caused it to be more careful and put restrictions and put bans on certain moves. And the thing is that you could say that WWE doesn't let the wrestlers do as much, but honestly it is for a reason.
Yeah.
So we want and I'm sure the guys here, everybody in Circle of Debate wants the wrestlers to be careful so that they can have long, prosperous careers, to be able to entertain everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when these things occur and the potential of getting hurt is there, it really is. The consequence I feel would be that AEW may start putting some restrictions of their own, and so hopefully, these guys can be careful, because honestly, I want AEW to allow wrestlers to do things and to, kind of have no leash, or so to say.
More creative freedom, pretty
creative
much.
freedom. There you go. Not just in the ring, but on the microphone as well.
Mhm.
So hopefully nobody messes that up, right? There's an event that that ends that for them. So there.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Steamboat, do you agree?
So, like, on this match in general, like, I really like that it's kind of like a very subtle baby face turn for Lance Archer, and I actually really like him as a baby face. Certain, like, big guys can work there. It's like if you've got like an evil, like, demon, gimmick, you could, like, be the evil demon that kills the bad guy who's like a corrupt, like, business or like an annoying whatever as your enemy. So it's like Eddie Kingston's kind of like the street bad guy who's kind of a bully versus the big demon Lance Archer. So I'm definitely like if this was a stadium crowd full of people, we'd be cheering like Lance Archer like crazy. Everybody, there'd be Lance chants and everything, like Lance, like, because he looks cool. I like how he holds the championship belt. So, like, I wouldn't mind seeing him with one of the mid-card titles right now, and maybe eventually champion. Because, like, he doesn't have it over the shoulder or tied around his waist. He's got, like, a different way of, like, holding it. So,
Right.
And I also love his aesthetics, really cool too. So, like, him and Pentagon, whether it's against each other or on the same team, it's cool to see them in a match together, all over. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm waiting for a Death Triangle. I'm waiting for Pac. I want Pac and Eddie Kingston. That's what I want.
Pac and Eddie Kingston too.
Yeah, that's the another match that I want to see.
I kind of want Lance to stick with them I think that would be actually like somewhat of like a cool tweener faction.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like, is adding Lance Archer to that faction with a Death Triangle? Fuck.
Yeah, like a very cool, not good guy or bad guy, just kind of like just out for themselves. Kind of like unstoppable group.
Agreed. I love that. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it from Mr. Steamboat. You heard it here first. That's top-notch shit. That's good shit, damn it. It's good shit. I love your premonition. But you never know. You never know. Let's move on. And also, we had Abaddon, in action, defeating Tasha Price. I love Tasha Price, by the way. I just want to go ahead and mention right quick. I want to give a shout-out to all the women, independent women wrestlers been showing up on AEW Dark, and also we don't really speak about Dark much because there's a lot of coverage, so we have to provide and so much content. But I mean, I got to give kudos to AEW Dark doing phenomenal work, pushing all these independent contractors, professional wrestlers, men and women. By far, Tasha Price is one of my favorites in AEW Dark. Hopefully, I'm glad that she did came out on Dynamite. Lindsay Snow. There's so many. It just Alex Garcia. Shit, it's just so much. So kudos to all those women and men that competed. Also, our boy down in Limelight. There's just so many in AEW Dark. So make sure you guys keep on tuning in, watching AEW Dark, and you never know, one of these individuals will be fully signed to AEW as they keep on, competing on Dark. You will probably see them on Dynamite soon, and I hope they do because they deserve it. So round of applause for all of you guys for doing that, and very round of applause. Love it. Wow, bravissimo. Love it. So Abaddon, defeated Tasha Price. We see, Hikaru Shida coming out, making the save. But she's scared. I'm like, this is the first time I've seen. Well, not the first time, I guess. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. It's just I don't like her reaction. How is it like towards Abaddon? But I do like the feud. I'm looking forward to see. I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, what is this? This feud reminds you of? Like, it reminds me of something, but it doesn't click in my mind right now. But seeing Abaddon acting the way how she acted, she took that candlestick and the headshot. And then, I don't know, we're getting up, like, looking crazy. Like, What is that kind of? I don't know. You tell me. Does it remind you of a feud back in the old WWE or Attitude Era days, or what does it remind you of, or something different?
I'm with you on that. It's trying to remind me of some. Well, right off the bat, it reminded me of Xavier Woods and Bray Wyatt. That for whatever reason, Xavier was scared or hypnotized, I guess, from Bray Wyatt. So right off the bat, that reminded me about that. Other than that, I'm sure if I really put my mind into it, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to find something else. But I like this feud. I like it. I like that, Hikaru Shida, she has this monster of a challenger, coming for her title. I don't think that Abaddon will win the title, but it's a good story of the champion being challenged and coming up on top through it all, right? It conquering her fear, which is if you watch any movie, any good movie will have a insurmountable opponent for the hero. So anyway, so I like that aspect of it, and I mean I do feel that Abaddon needs a little bit more fine tuning in the ring.
Yes,
but yeah, her character is pretty cool, man. The two contacts and the blood, and she's spitting out blood when she walks out into the ring or crawls out to the ring.
Oh yeah,
so it's pretty cool, pretty awesome stuff there. I really like that character, and yeah, so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that match.
All right, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about that?
I gotta say, like anytime like supernatural girls, gimmicks come, it's always like a big hit because it was something that I didn't see enough of, because I guess like mid '90s you got your Undertakers and you got your all these like these demons and these ghost type characters. So it's really cool to have something like this, And if anybody's ever studied like demonology, Abaddon's the name of an actual demon, and it has like such a long lore towards it. So there's so many like great things that the commentators could say about Abaddon's, like, oh, this demon from lands far away in Europe during the 1500s. You have all this like rich history to illustrate the match with. And Hikaru Shida, it's like the samurai versus the demon. You guys could they could do that whole thing. Hikaru Shida could come out with like Shinto priest and with talismans and like was it the Japanese have like this like they use symbols to scare away ghosts and demons. So like she could show up with something like that, and that would be kind of cool to work with. So just to kind of differentiate from the first match she had with Abaddon. I think on Twitter, Hikaru Shida was even saying like, why are you facing her again? Why are you having this match again? And then Hikaru Shida is like, what if you got bit by a crocodile a second time? Wouldn't you fight that crocodile again? Is what she was saying. So she was
right.
So
I love it, man. It's crazy. I can't wait. I mean, I do love the character a lot. She could have played Sister Abigail for sure for Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Oh my God! If she would have
imagine that.
Nailed it. Oh, Jesus, she would nail that fucking part. But damn, she okay, I'm trying to get into my fucking head. I don't know. I could say Kane maybe, or either the early era of Kane, or I could say more the early era of Mankind. Like that's another one too. Or even with Bray, like even the beginning of the Fiend style. Like I think that could be as well too. I mean, there's so much comparisons, but I know she's her own character. But I love this shit. I mean, I love the fact that she's been that character for in the independent scene and now here. So I'm loving it. Kudos to Abaddon. And you're right. She should deliver. One thing, her in-work skills ability still needs a little bit more work. We have seen her on Dark before, and now she's on Dynamite recently, next feud. So, I mean, we'll see the outcome of it, how it goes.
I would say that with Impact and AEW working together, maybe a Abaddon versus Rosemary match is not off the table,
Or Su Yung.
Yes, there you go.
That would be another one. Woo! So much good shit, so much dream matches that we can list them all. Especially in the women's division. man, I think that the Impact Women's Division will help develop the AEW's Women's Division a lot more. And they do need that to develop, you know. And that's
AEW doesn't have a women's tag team titles right now.
no, they don't.
So what better title to bring to AEW than the Impact Women's Tag Team titles?
I agree with you, and you heard it here first. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steamboat's on a roll tonight. He's on a roll. That's right.
Throw the dice.
That's right. You heard it from American Hero. Call us, Don Callis. Call us, Tony Khan. Call us.
Callis, I'm a Don Callis guy, or I came up with this. I'm a Don Callis man, and he's the only man that can. So
I like that.
I love that. That's a shirt right there. That's a shirt for sure. But I agree. Imagine Diamante and Eva Lee's going for those belts. Man, that's be another fuck.
Because they won that tournament, but they don't have a belt. They just have a trophy.
That's it. So. Yeah, 100. I agree 100%. I'm loving this, cross promotions. I'm loving the fact that they're really pushing it. So, we'll see what's more going to be delivered in 2021. Do want to mention though, which the Kenny Omega segment, right? Again with this big tease, and we're waiting, and there's nothing happening. Like, what's up with that? Like, what are you? Come on, man. You're saying, but this is where I said it, Mike. This is where I said. I'm like, hey. Already, how you said earlier, you got to see him going for the X Division title. X Division title or the Impact Championship or maybe New Japan or maybe WWE, NXT, or Ring of Honor. There's so many possibilities that are endless. So he's your boy, Kenny Omega, Mr. Steamboat. Take it away.
It's like I said, I think one of the ones I'd probably want to see the most right now, just because the NWA relationship is probably, him going for Nick Aldis would probably be the one. Because, the all-in main event was Cody versus Nick Aldis, and that could be the feud right after Kenny versus Nick Aldis. And then you could tie all three of those together. And then, of course, there was that teaser with Rich Swann, so we could bring Rich Swann into the picture. Who knows? Three different champions, 3 different promotions, one match. First time in history. They could do that as well. So many things they could do with it. Like Don Cal said, I don't make matches. I make history.
Yes.
Hero, the floor is yours.
Oh, my goodness. Just that I'm icy hot again. Man. Get me some of that because, it's incredible. The thought that 3 world champions can potentially go against each other to see, a real undisputed champion, right? Not to discredit Y2J or anything, but man, so I think Omega will go if this is the case. I think he would go after the TNA title or Impact title. I think it is with Rich Swann. So I think he would go for that first. I do believe that all this is, if you were to rank the world champions, I think all this is a little bit higher up than Swann, in my opinion. So it's interesting to see. But again, so basically what was said in Impact by Omega is technically the same thing he said in Dynamite. So he said pretty much the same thing on both shows. It's just that he was able to go on one and say it there first. And in the other one, he showed up in a helicopter. But, in the end, this is a story that's going to have a slow burn. Fools rush in. I feel that WWE, when they did the whole invasion thing with WCW, they rushed into that, and it didn't go well. It wasn't great as it could have been.
Right.
This, I am very sure that the fans will appreciate in the long run if they take their time into storytelling and making sure that this is the best story that the fans can receive, because not only is it great for the fans, it's great for each and every company that this could be involved in. Everybody wins if it's done right.
I agree with that. Just not too long though. Like I don't want like the Young Bucks and FTR style. Like it took forever. Like fuck, all right, just make it happen already. Shit. Like it was just because it was a long tenure. Like for that to finally collide and they finally made it happen. I mean, shit, you were not gonna have any fans anyways. I mean, you had a couple fans, but still, something is something. At least you got fans reaction, a live crowd reaction when that happened between FTR and Young Bucks. Well, with this one with Kenny Omega, how Mike said it, I agree 100%. And how you said it, Matt, shit, you never know.
I want to add 2 more titles to this picture, though.
Please.
He should challenge, because right now he should challenge Roosh for the Ring of Honor world title. That's like another one he could add to the list. And then there's also the IWGP. You know, there's the whole situation with New Japan. You know, they don't have a whole lot of story built up with Pro Wrestling Noah, despite like Marufuji going over to Impact pretty often, and then Eddie Edwards being a former Pro Wrestling Noah champion.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, there's, you know, if Kota Ibushi gets that belt, and we could kind of like surprise everybody with the closing chapter for the Golden Lovers storyline, would be I guess probably the best booking would be Kenny gets all the other championships, and the first one he loses to is Kota.
All right, now that you're mentioning that, I'm going to say this right now. You're the first one to say it. This is your credit. I'm only adding to what you're saying. I'm adding more sprinkle to it. You know, adding the toppings for it. So it just shit making me cough now because of that. Man.
We need icy hot. We need the icy hot.
I need to icy patch. Oh shit. Dude, think about this, how you said it. Imagine Kota Ibushi does win the IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship, and Kenny Omega shows up and just looks at him and like, I'm coming for those. I am coming for those. Just showing up at Wrestle Kingdom with the AEW, with the AAA Heavyweight Championship. Imagine how, you never know, maybe with the Impact title, and how you said it, imagine all the gold, and he goes, this is a straight out Avengers fucking story, man. Straight the fuck out. Yep.
That would be the best person to beat him, because Kenny needs to become like some big, powerful, like demon heel with Don Callis at his side, because I'm a Don Callis guy, you know. I'm a Don Callis guy, so
it's kind of like, like how Thanos had death in the comic books, like I'm a fucking nerd, so what? Kiss my ass, so what?
Facts.
But yes, I mean, it's kind of like that. It could be that way, and Kota Ibushi could be your Captain America, I guess. I don't know, or not Iron Man, but he's more your Captain America. And
he has that past history, though. It's like It's like the only thing was Captain America, like best friends, growing up, learning, former best friends with Thanos. That wasn't the case. Kota has that history with Kenny, so it's like I've known you for so long. I'm the only one who knows how to beat you. I know everything about you. Yeah. I've developed you. You wanted to be me, and I wanted to be you. Yeah. And this is ultimate main event. Indianapolis 500, 200,000 people in attendance for that match.
Oh my God, that was something, right?
And we'll be in the front row with our press badges. Drinking. What do you call those? The long ones, the yard house.
The yard, yeah, the yard meter.
We'll have those, and we'll have our press badges and those yard house beers.
Hell yeah, we will. I would definitely, 100%. I just want to move in and close up with AEW Dynamite. We did see the Diamond Ring on the line. Did see MJF and Orange Cassidy. Another great match between both of these gentlemen. Orange Cassidy's gimmick is not dying out. I feel they pushed him back a little bit, because right now they're focusing on all this other, plots that is going on. But at least he main evented. So, I mean, that's not still, he's still up in the cards. He's still up there. And another great match, even though we did see a lot of involvement. Best friends bringing on the rest of the, brought on the more, crew on their side with Inner Circle there. So it was great. Loved it overall. And then Miro, I'm loving the highlight of Miro just coming in and fucking destroying shit. So I'm glad that we're seeing Miro highlighted at the end of the segment. And I mean, at the end of the show. So I'm hoping that we see a push from them, like how Mike said prior before in the archives, ladies and gentlemen. On the archives, I've said it before. Mr. Hero has said it, that Miro needs to be pushed, and so have you, Mr. Steamboat. You said that as well. So go ahead, Mr. Hero. The floor is yours on this segment.
Yeah, it's kind of first world problems, right? You know, you've got Miro only popping up for a little bit of time, and it kind of goes to show that the roster is getting stacked here. You know, there's a lot of great players in AEW when you're only able to give Miro just a little bit of time there. I know that their plans are, well, or were before COVID, to have a second show very soon. So I don't know how that's coming along, but right now I feel that what I took away from this is that they probably could have a second show, maybe even an hour-long show, because you know I would like. There's more wrestlers that I would like to see more of. But anywho, as far as this segment, the match and all that, definitely I don't think Orange Cassidy is losing. Losing or his character is fading or anything like that. I still enjoy the hands in the pockets and the sunglasses and the slow kicks and the slow thumbs ups and his introduction, because he is from wherever, weighing in whatever, you know, so great, cool character, I would say. MJF is MJF, and I did feel that yes, he was going to win this. And he won it in the most heelish way possible. And right after saying that he single-handedly did it. So, you know, MJF being a super heel there. So, yeah, I mean, it was good. A good segment, good way to end the night for Dynamite. And I look forward to next week.
That's right, definitely. Mr. Steamboat.
I gotta say, it's you know, if anything, I won't say fading, but he could just shift into something else because he's that talented of a performer and a wrestler. I mean, the selling of the hand is probably just, you know, a small example of that. Just how much like pain you could feel when you're seeing him work the hand and sell the hand and everything with that, because that's his main weapon, the orange punch. You know, probably one of my favorite Superman punches, you know, in the business.
Oh, wow. I'm with you on that.
In wrestling.
I was about to say, ain't got nothing on GSP. But.
Yeah, in wrestling. I'm putting that above an obvious other person. But
I know who you're talking about. Which we'll talk about after the commercial break. We'll talk about that. But
so it's what I've wanted them to do with Miro, is that he's really fit best in the singles division, just to see, because with the roster that's going on in AEW, I want to see Miro up against other big guys and then medium guys, small guys, whatever, but just one-on-one, just to see like him work his magic, his sambo, you know, his, you know, Russian martial arts and wrestling combined, you know, that's what I want to see. So we got to see a little bit of that, rather than, because it feels like a waste of time putting Miro in the tag team division for the most part.
Yes, agreed 100%. He's really looking like powerful, like how he's supposed to be, how they were pushing him. Well, they weren't even pushing him. He pushed himself in WWE. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they dropped the ball on that. Papa Vinny dropped the ball on that, so he messed up on that. But I hope Miro will be in a TNT picture pretty soon for that title belt. I hope so. But as of right now, he should get away from that tag team. Have Kip as his manager. I don't mind that. Let him compete in singles competition. So be it. You don't just have to be a tag team all the time. And I don't mind that at all. Having him and Penelope be his managers, push him by all means. But
his faction.
Yeah, it's faction. Why not? Everybody's having a lot of factions nowadays. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I would push that for Miro. I hope he does, and I hope he gets his break. Just like, you know, his wife Lana's getting a break on Raw, so at least she's not going through tables right now. At least right now she's doing good. But we'll jump on about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and speak about pro wrestling news, letting you know what's going around worldwide. We will discuss the You know what happened this past Ring of Honor this past Monday? I loved it with Michael Bennett versus Vincent. So you might want to see that, but I'm already saying it now, so I'll mention it right now, right quick. And also, I'll also give you the results of our brother Jeremy Gomez Generation Championship Wrestling Diamond Cup, who won the cup and the GCW Women's Championship. And also the episode of NWA Shockwave, the results for that, and more wrestling coming to you. We'll be right back after these messages from the Wrestling Guy store. So make sure that you guys shop at the Wrestling Guy store, even though with this global pandemic going on. But they're still open. Make sure, distance, 6 feet away, 6 feet apart. Make sure you wear your mask, ladies and gentlemen, when you go ahead and shop at the Wrestling Guy store. All the details will be below the descriptions, their social media platforms, phone number, the address. And once again, if you mention our, the podcast Circle Debate, you mentioned the American Hero, Mike Lopez, you mentioned MGC, Matt the Steamboat, the Mad Hatter, he'll know. If you mention the CK1, Chris Kennedy, Reputation Killer, or you mention myself, the Devious One, I've seen, you get 10% off of your pro wrestling merchandise that you purchased at Wrestling Guy store. And let David know, let Mr. David Gomez know about that. So we'll be right back. Make sure you enjoy this message from the Wrestling Guy store, and we'll be back.
Hey gang, this is Lisa Marie Varon, also known as Victoria from WWE, also known as Tara from TNA Impact Wrestling. If you're not shopping at the Wrestling Guy store, something is seriously wrong with you. Don't make me go over there and widow speak your butt. So the Wrestling Guy store is where it's at. Celebrities, collectibles. Of course, he has me here, so he definitely has good taste. The Wrestling Guy store, baby.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the commercial from Victoria, Marie. Make sure you guys shop at the Wrestling Guy store. Make sure you get 10% off when you mention the Circle Debate Podcast and our names. So make sure you guys do that. The descriptions are below. And the hour, the store hours, the telephone number for all SoCal, residents lives around that area as well. So make sure you shop at the Wrestling Guy store. Let's go ahead and move on with professional wrestling news worldwide. So let's go ahead. We did already mention earlier about watching Ring of Honor. Make sure you keep an eye on Ring of Honor because they're going to have that final battle, which is next week. That will be December the 18th. Make sure you follow on that. And they have a lot of, which we'll go ahead and actually touch the basis for that next episode for 33. But yes, keep an eye on it. I love the fact that Michael Bennett is back in Ring of Honor and, bringing it back to OGs, the Kingdom. The only one who's missing is Adam Cole. But, hey, it's fine. Matt Taven and him teaming up again, I love it. I can't wait. And it was a great match for his, return against Vincent. Awesome match, even though it was disqualification. But make sure you guys actually YouTube that match, and it's incredible. And also during that match as well on Ring of Honor that happened this past Monday, Tracy Williams, defeating John Walters, another one right there. I'm loving the fact that Ring of Honor is really pushing all these competitors. And by the way, Mike, Tracy Williams and John Walters went pure ring style, meaning that they went pure rules. How. Okay, the ropes. Okay, that's one, -1. So I'm glad that the Ring of Honor has having that tradition, that tradition mixture of keeping point, judges there. I love it, man. It's fucking incredible. So just make sure you guys keep an eye on Ring of Honor on that. And also want to go ahead and mention too, as well, that happened this past Friday, December 4th, which was the Generation Championship Generation Championship Wrestling. Our brother Jeremy Gomez, that's right, the Diamond Cup that happened. We saw the in-ring return of Shao Guerrero. Man, she put up a hellacious match. She did an instant classic when she, in the first rounds of the tournament, when she competed against Renee Michelle. So, hit the slam the chair in the ring, threw it at Renee Michelle. She fell down. The ref like, did you hit her? Did you hit her? Ring the bell. Went old school style. Instant classic of her late father, the great Eddie Guerrero. So make sure you guys tune in on Title Match Network to watch the replay of the Diamond Cup. Appreciate our brother Jeremy Gomez. And also the winner of that, who made it to the semifinals, was Queen Amanada and Shell Guerrero. And the winner was Queen Amanada, was crowned the Diamond Cup champion and the GCW Women's Champion. Kudos to all these women that competed in that tournament. Sky Blue, Genocide. I'm a big fan of her work. Hopefully we'll have her to show soon. Jesus, Renee Michelle, Shao, Blue Babe, just so many. And Deanna Peraza was involved as well. So make sure you guys actually tune into the replay on Title Match Network. They're actually the best network right now where you can actually even watch any independent circuit wrestling promotions, any events they're having. Make sure, and I'll put the description below with the link so you can click on Title Match Network so you can go ahead and subscribe and watch every independent circuit, the events that are happening nationwide. So make sure you guys tune for that. And also want to go ahead and mention the NWA Shockwaves, the second episode. We finally saw our boy Watts, making, a comeback in the NWA, facing Eli Drake for the first time. We saw the outcome of that. Eli Drake defeating Watts. Also the powerhouse, the brick house of all houses, Camille Brickhouse defeating, CC Simone Sherry. And the main event, I love this main event. If you guys did not watch this, you guys are morons. Make sure that you watch the replay. Watch it on the YouTube, NWA YouTube. Watch Thunder Rosa versus Priscilla Kelly. Phenomenal station match. That was the main event. They fucking stole the show. These two incredible women, man. I'm going to say it right now, gentlemen. And the women are stealing the show. They're stealing the show this year. Overall, in every promotion. Not only just NWA, NXT, not AEW, but close to the Impact. There's so many. So make sure you guys watch that. I mean, I don't know, Mr. Stimo, did you catch Shockwave by any chance? Did you?
Yes, the Priscilla Kelly and Thunder Rosa match went on quite a bit, and you got to see like the full finisher and everything. Very, very intense match.
Definitely.
Long, drawn out.
Oh yeah, definitely. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Watch NWA. Keep follow them, subscribe to the channel because there's gonna be coming more events. And also make sure that you also follow Championship Wrestling, which we'll be putting also in the description below. They have check your local listings, which will have the website so you can watch all the shows from Championship Wrestling. They're still going on, and you can still actually watch previous episodes of the United Wrestling Network. Also on FITE TV, all the description will be below on the YouTube channel. And also want to go ahead and move on with. There's so much wrestling happening this weekend, Matt. I mean, shit, Mike as well. Like. We got Triple Mania coming up. That's, this Saturday. You also have Impact Final Resolution. You have that coming up. Don't forget that, AAA, Lucha Libre, Triple Mania. You have Kenny Omega defending the AAA Heavyweight Championship versus Laredo Kid. You have hair versus hair match. You have Pagano versus Chessman. I'm looking forward to seeing that and so much more.
Hold on a second here. So you're saying Kenny Omega in 1 week has made an appearance in, obviously, AEW, Impact, and on Saturday he's going to be in AAA.
Yes,
because he's their champion.
He's
in 1 week. See,
jeez Louise.
AEW is doing things that have never been done before. Like somebody in 1 week, and because what was it? Rick Rude, 2 different shows in 1 day was what he did. He did 2 shows in 1 day. Kenny Omega did 3 shows in 1 week. On different TV promotions, not because you could appear in multiple small time promotions, but this is multiple TV from a major worldwide broadcast, worldwide promotions. All Kenny needs to do is appear in DDT and Ring of Honor. So.
Definitely. I am, and don't forget you can also watch Lucha Libre AAA. You can watch that on their Facebook and their YouTube channel. It's for free. So you're able to actually watch it for free. It's going to be live. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get that notification. As well, you subscribe to our channel as well so you get that notification on Circle Debate. Make sure you follow us, subscribe, show the love and support, let everybody know. And also shout out to the League of Extraordinary Podcasters, the Dirty Heel Podcast. Also Jonah from Rewind, Recap, Relive. James from the 90s Wrestling Podcast. And Frank and Kyle, JOFO in the Ring Podcast, that, you know, just our fucking opinion podcast. I love them all, man. I love them all. And also, all the love brothers we have, Backstage Brawl podcast. Make sure you follow them. And also follow the Titantron podcast. Our brother Anthony, man, love you guys as well. I will answer your questions when you were watching this episode. You tweeted something earlier and IG me, but all of us here will answer that. So wait a little bit more. I will answer your question. Now I want to go ahead and move on right quick with New Japan. Like I'm telling you, there's so much wrestling content, so much. So we did get now who made it to the finals of the Best Super Juniors. We found out it is Hiromu versus El Desperado. What I tell you, Matt, I told you Desperado was going to sneak up. The only reason why Taiji Ishimori did not make it, because even though all three of them tied up with 14 points, remind you that Hiromu and Desperado defeated Taiji Ishimori during the tournament. So that's why he did not make it to the first and second place. So second place was Hiromu, first place was Desperado. And so if you guys did not catch the replay of it, make sure you watch it. And don't forget, that's actually tonight. Tonight is the finals of the Best Super Juniors between Hiromu and El Desperado. Can't wait to see.
Watch it.
And I'm going to choose El Desperado this one.
Yeah, you know, Hiromu's been kind of like the odds-on favorite. They gave him the main event at, what was it, the Sengoku Lord? Mm-hmm. They gave him Sengoku Lord's main event, so, like, might as well give this to El Desperado. Like, you don't want the same baby faces always going over, so...
Yeah, definitely. And also during that time as well, same night, we also had the finals of the World Tag League. We had Finley and Juice going one-on-one, which they're in first place versus second place, the Gorillas of Destiny. And don't forget that Zack Sabre and Taichi were also tied with the same points, which was 12 points. But obviously Taichi and Zack lost to these both teams. That's why they didn't make it to the finals.
So this is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom.
Exactly. It's a rematch that we're seeing. And who was last year's World Tag League tournament champions? Was it Finley and Juice that won it last year, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right? They're pretty much defending it against like I don't think it's a rematch, is it? I don't really remember.
Because they won the titles off of Gorillas of Destiny and they lost it to them again. So this is like another chance for them to like regain it and be like the top babyface tag team once again.
Yeah, definitely.
Very colorful. So this is Juice Robinson with a new gimmick now, though. He's got a new coat of paint. He's got the Blues Brothers gimmick, you know.
Yeah. As long as they ain't that Dominoes and Deuce WWE SmackDown style, I love it. As long as they ain't that type of style. So what do you got on this one? You got God or do you got Juice and Finley?
I've got Finn Juice since, you know, I mean, because Juice Robinson is probably like the most enjoyable right now with crowds, since in Japan you're not allowed to scream or yell or whatever. So what Juice Robinson does is he does the "We Will Rock You" clap with everybody in the Japanese crowds. So everybody goes boom, 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 boom. Everybody, like even if like whoever, and the smart thing is, he was the first babyface to get that chant in the pandemic. So the first, like, if you're the first one to get that chant, all the other chants are already, you know, taken, because all you could do is clap. Yeah. So that's pretty genius, you know, on his end.
It. I'm gonna go with God. I think because they haven't been back in Japan. You know, now they're back. So I think, why not? Let God take it. Let Gorillas, let Tama and Tonga take it. Why the hell not?
There you go. Yeah, and then they could just get it on a revenge match or whatever.
Exactly. You know, that happens also that same night. I mean, that's going to happen like around 4 o'clock in the morning, pretty much. That's what it's December 11th, I believe, so you could say. So make sure you guys tune in on New Japan and watching that. Still more New Japan, by the way. I'm telling you, there's so much fucking wrestling content happening this weekend. We have also in New Japan Destination. Make sure you watch that as well. This is Strong Style here in the States. You're going to see, obviously, God competing as well. You're going to have the club. You have ACH versus Tama Tonga. You're going to have Carl Francis versus Jay White, the main event. You're also going to have, you know, Mysterioso, Finley, Juice versus the club, which is Tonga, Owens, and Hikuleo. You're going to have pretty much Clark Connors and DKC versus Regal Brothers, which is Sterling and Logan. Make sure you watch that as well. And that following next day, you're going to have the Super J Cup, the one that we talked about prior before on our archives, which is you have Leo Rush competing, you have Chris Bay competing, ACH, CJP, Ray Hours, Christian Blake, and Fantasmo, so Clark Connors. So make sure you watch that on Saturday. That's the New Japan J Cup. So you have the 8-man tournament. You have Connors versus Bay, ACH versus TJP. You have Ray Hours versus Blake. You have Fantasmo versus Leo Rush. I believe we all chose Leo Rush on this, right? Who do we choose to, right? So I believe Leo Rush will actually win it overall, and that's our pick. And we'll give you more information on that on episode number 33. We'll go ahead and give you that as well. So make sure to give you the results and our thoughts about everything, all the finals, and what happened in AAA and what happened in Impact. We're going to give you all those results next Friday. Make sure you tune to that. And also want to go jump to WWE now. I want to go ahead and jump right quick to this because there's a lot of news that happened today that really upset me. Yeah, I know. Yep. This is the rebuttal for WWE towards towards AEW. So, AEW got Sting, and they got Goldberg. So now you're seeing, instead of Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but it might change. You never know, because as of right now, as of where it stands, it's Goldberg, Roman, Mania. That's what we have. That's the plans. That's Vinny Max. When everybody saw the bump when Goldberg called out Roman Reigns. I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Hero. Take this one. What do you think?
Oh my goodness. Jeez. There's a reason why we left WWE at the end here, because man, no, God. Okay. Yes, please, icy hot. Oh my
the
God,
icy hot pack.
I need 20 of those all over me right now. Because, okay, we saw what happened. I mean, I'm not sure Vince remembers this short-term memory here. He dumped The Undertaker on his head at Crown Jewel not that long ago, or I don't know how long ago it was. What's to say he's not going to do something to Roman like in this manner? At this point, it's becoming, it's potentially unsafe for something like this to happen. That's one of Goldberg's signature moves, the jackhammer, and he's going to be expected to do it. Will he be able to lift up Roman and deliver the move, or is he gonna, who knows? Goldberg is not at that level anymore. Sure. Oh, Mike, American hero, but you've never been in the ring. Listen. No, stop that right now. And do not tell me that you expect Goldberg to deliver a 5-star WrestleMania main event level match.
Hold on.
Or 5 beer, 5 beer match with Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. That's not going to happen. No, sir. Believe me, I love Goldberg as much as the next guy, right? But seriously, if this is your rebuttal, WWE, Mr. Kennedy McMahon, if this is your rebuttal for Sting, then no, it's not. I already told you what to do, Vince. I already told you what to do. Beep, beep. Back up that truck loaded with the Benjamins right in Chicago in front of CM Punk's house. Get him versus Reigns main event of WrestleMania. Doesn't that sound better than Goldberg versus Reigns? There you go. I'm icy and I'm hot right now.
I will talk about CM Punk's response, but Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about that?
And I wouldn't even be surprised if they just brought Hulk Hogan out of nowhere. Just again, it's just like, okay, brother, for the millionth time.
It's just they're out of options right now.
Yes, they are.
They're really out of options.
It's like because maybe they're gonna bring back the NWO and do that all over again. And
I mean, they are because they're going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I mean they are.
They're gonna have Goldberg versus the NWO all over again with Roman Reigns. Like, all right, Roman Reigns is gonna paint his face like Sting, but it's not gonna be Sting. It's like we have Sting at home, you know, kind of.
I mean, by far right now, Goldberg, because he signed multi-year as well. This happened, I believe it happened last year or the beginning of the year. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, I'm pretty sure there's a guaranteed contract there, and that contract said, "Oh, okay, pal, I'll put you on the main event level." So of course he's gonna be in the main event level. It's gonna happen, of course. If you're gonna mix Goldberg in the mix, no matter what, because he promised him this much shit, you know, why not go with it? But obviously, us as the pro wrestling fans, no, we don't want to see this anymore. Come on.
Okay, I'll be honest here. Sorry for coming back into this, but geez Louise. For the past 2-3 weeks, I've only been watching the highlights on YouTube for Raw and SmackDown because that's how much the show is just so bleh right now. I can't even find the word for it.
It's okay, Mike. I haven't been watching the shows, period. So,
this past Monday, I did not even watch the entire highlights for Raw. That's how disinterested in the product I am. Honestly, I feel like the best thing that they have going right now is The Fiend and Roman Reigns. Those are the best two characters that they have going on in WWE. And honestly, I would go as far as to say that Fiend versus Reigns could be the main event at WrestleMania. In my opinion, they held off on Roman Reigns versus the Fiend for a bit now. They moved Fiend over to Raw, have him win the Rumble, challenge Roman Reigns if The Rock is not available. Not Goldberg. Come on now, no.
I mean, that's the best option they have. If The Rock, okay, let's say this: The Rock comes back. Let's say The Rock is willing to do WrestleMania. Then they'll move Goldberg to Royal Rumble. They'll have Goldberg beat Roman at Royal Rumble. He'll regain it back before WrestleMania, and he'll go ahead and face The Rock. Unless Vince were like, "Oh, Goldberg and The Rock again, rematch. What a good shit." I'm like, don't do it. You better not do that, Vince. I hope not. And I'm not giving you ideas. I hope. But I already know that that's your thoughts. I just know you're so predictable of what you do. You're very predictable. You're losing your touch, buddy. You're losing your touch.
Oh, he lost that years ago.
Years ago. And believe me, I mean, yes, we love professional wrestling. I'm not saying that I don't love WWE. It's just that, what are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? You're not pushing the upcoming rising stars that needs to be there. What happened with Big E's situation? Why is not Big E no longer in the talks? You push him down to the mid-card level for the IC belt for Sami Zayn. Oh, my God. Really? You're going to – I don't even want to get involved. I don't want to get more detail to that because it pisses me more off. But I want another potential WrestleMania match. We're going to see Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee. Why can't it be just Keith and Drew? Why does it have to involve Brock Lesnar? I don't hate Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar. But why does it have to involve Lesnar in this picture? So you're telling me that Keith Lee's going to win the Rumble? That's what it sounds like to me? Or he's going to win that elimination chamber at No Way Out or something to get the number one contendership. But somehow, some way, Lesnar gets in the way. Does not make any sense to me. Mr. Hero, take it away. What are your thoughts about that potential match?
I am if Keith Lee wins the Royal Rumble, I'm for it. I'm down with that.
Mhm.
I would even go as far as to say that Lee versus Reigns would be better than Goldberg and Reigns. You know, it, this momentum that Keith Lee, he had so much fire coming into the main roster, and where's it gone? You know, it's just poof, gone. Well, I mean, maybe not all the way, but you know, if he wins the Rumble, I feel like he's potentially one of the guys that could definitely win, and it would do well. Now, Lesnar, Mr. Lesnar, whew, you know, uh, McMahon, he's leaving the truck of money in the wrong place, but you know, if they bring back Lesnar, what I don't know, we've seen Lesnar. I'm starting to be disinterested in what he brings to the table because it's obvious he doesn't really care, you know.
Money,
You know, he throws around the belt and all this and that.
money.
You know, it's just money. It's just money, and it seems like he has a good amount of it. So share the wealth, Brock. You know, we here at Circle of Debate accept donations.
Yes, we do.
PayPal,
PayPal, Venmo, Zelle,
all the above.
all the above.
Cash App,
Cash App too. There you go.
So yeah,
coffee.
it's just not interesting to me, and that's it. McMahon and WWE are letting fans go. I feel more and more people are just tuning in on Wednesdays instead, and there you go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mr. Stebo, do you agree with that?
It's like Brock Lesnar. I think one of like the last matches I saw was like Brock Lesnar versus McIntyre, and that was just like spamming finishers. And I was like, you know, that match is kind of.
How
I'll be
did you
sticking
go?
my tongue out for those listening on Spotify. Well,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't gel at all. We don't know what the hell they're gonna do, and it's just as of right now, it's just they're losing their touch. They really are pretty badly. It's not. I mean, that's why. Okay, I want to go ahead and the boy Anthony Titantron podcast asked this question,
Okay.
and I want everybody to answer it. So I'm gonna add. I'm gonna read the question that he put on Twitter that he posted. Here's the fact of the matter. So long as the ratings continue to stay stagnant where they are or continue to drop, the WWE does not have a single draw. Roman and Sasha are definitely stars, but there's a huge difference from being a draw. So who wants to answer that question? Or who wants to answer that comment?
Well, I guess I'll go first. Alphabetical order. There is a clear difference between being a star and drawing money, drawing people. We saw kind of the first example that comes to mind is Zack Ryder. He was able to sell merch. He was given a lot of stuff to sell, and I mean, I'm no accountant there, but I'm sure he made a lot of money for WWE. But they didn't make him a star. They didn't give him that platform or that those storylines that he needed in order to become a star. He drew money, but he didn't become necessarily a star, right? So on the other side of the coin, WWE talks money.
Yes.
That's all there is. It's a business. It's not it's a sport, but there's more. It's entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're not making money, then you don't make sense, right? Something like that, as the saying goes.
Yeah.
Don't make dollars. It don't make sense.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So they're not gonna waste, quote unquote, their time on people that are not drawing money, even if they are stars. And an example of that could probably be CM Punk, right? Like, they didn't give him the ball as much as we would have wanted to, and he's gone. So you know, and Goldberg too. Goldberg was a victim of that. You know, back his 2003 run, you know, he was fed to Triple H. You know, but if they would have booked him then, how they are now, I think and it would be another story.
All right, Mr. Steamboat, do you have a comments for that one? Or do you want to read you the Twitter again?
No, no, it's okay. It doesn't need to be read again. I'll just there's my comment.
I agree with you 100% what you said, Mike. It makes a lot of sense what you just said. I mean, yeah, they're stars, but I mean, to be a draw, like how you said, yeah, but Matt Cardona wasn't a star, but he became a draw on the merchandise. He became a draw like on the internet, on social media platforms, being the internet champion, and he pushed himself, and then he was becoming a draw. People were asking for him. The same with Daniel Bryan. The same thing happened to him. The same with Cesaro, but look what happened. I mean, shit, he got pushed down. You know, Cesaro section happened. Like Miro, the same. Like, they could be a fucking draw. But the fact of the matter is, how you said, money talks. And because, you know, not only that, but it's corporate. It's not creative freedom. It's also, you know, Vince will not allow these type of draws. He had no other choice with CM Punk. That's why I respect with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, because they were the two, you know, independent contractors that came from, you know, Ring of Honor, that came from Japan, All Japan, PWG. They've been around the world wrestling, came to the biggest, you know, company in the world at, you know, I'm not saying they are right now. For me, they're not. I mean, they still are technically, but to be watching them. But they made a name for themselves, and they became a draw. They really became a draw in that. The fact that they were known, they were getting pushed, and the yes from the talking shit to talking everything, you know, just overall. The same with Matt Cardona, Miro, like those characters doesn't develop, you know, on its own. It's developed by the crowd, by everybody, the fans. And of course you're gonna push it. That's creative freedom. And they don't have that in WWE. They don't have creative freedom. They're given a script. Here you go. Say this line. What the fuck is this shit? I gotta say it. All right, let me say this. That's why Ambrose bashes it. I mean, it's not Ambrose. Moxley, you know, he bashes it. You know, how he talked about it on his wife's social media podcast, you know, oral sessions, and how he started with the Chris Jericho one as well. It's true. WWE, it's going to come to the point they have to give in to creative freedom to these professional wrestlers, these talents, because they deserve that, first of all. And you took away from Cesaro, you took away from Nakamura. I can name a lot of people that you've taken away that push that they had from 2016 to what it is currently, which they could have still had to this day. But you decided not to. You want to go back to the old school days. You want to keep continuing with Roman. I love Roman now because of his heel. It took long enough, but Goldberg again, Lesnar again, Goldberg again, Lesnar again. And this is like, and now I want to jump to right away CM Punk. What CM Punk said on the podcast of Renee's Paquet's oral sessions. He asked, "Okay, do you think unionize works?" He said, "Unionize does not work. It would never work in professional wrestling unionization because everybody's selfish. Not you call them your family, you know, everything as of right now because you're close to the pandemic and you're calling them family because you're on the road traveling. But then when you go home, do they call you, see how you're doing? Do they actually even come visit you? Do they actually, you know, they have your back? They don't. They'll care about themselves. You know, that's what CM Punk said. You know, and it would never work. He said, okay, Xavier Woods, he gave an example. Xavier Woods, great wrestler, blah, blah. Okay, how does he still has his Twitch, his YouTube under his real name and page as well, and not Selena Vega, not Thea Trinidad. So how does unionization will work? It was because a man is allowing them to have it. Why you supposedly made an example out of this one, out of Thea Trinidad, but you're still allowing these two other individuals to have their platforms, which you demanded no more third-party social media. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
So that's why he said unionization will never work. And he also said, in order for me to get intrigued back into the wrestling bubble, you really got to give me a good fucking story. He does watches both products, AEW and WWE. He's like, right now, none of them are intriguing me. But he had to give me a good story for me to be intrigued in order for me to come back. So your comments, Mr. Steamboat, about what Mr. CM Punk said about these two topics.
Well, in honor of Josh, this is what I'm gonna give to you, CM Punk. I don't know. It's his, what do you call that? Like some people being what's the word? You know, when you're disagreeable just for the sake of attention or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know what you call that word.
Yeah, being contradictory, or or there was another word for it. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm calling CM Punk that, basically. Yep. In honor of Josh, here you go, CM Punk. There you go. That's for you. Just for you, CM Punk.
All right, Mr. Hero, your comments about what CM Punk said.
Contrarian.
So CM Punk watches the show or shows. So obviously there's some sort of an interest there. He wouldn't watch if it would be otherwise. So, man, honestly, I feel like this whole Kenny Omega thing, if they build this up, I mean, if I were CM Punk, I would want to get in on that, story, because it's something that's never been done before, never seen before, something very unique to pro wrestling, and just seeing how the impact on Impact, just on that episode, to see him talk, see Kenny Omega talk. He's got to know that if he goes to one of these promotions, the ratings will go up, and I think Omega is probably the right guy for him to have a rivalry with.
All right. As far as the unionization situation of what he said,
yes, it would take a lot. Realistically, it would take a lot for a union to be able to grab control over professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Could it happen? Of course. As they say never, but it's gonna take a lot, for it to happen. Many steps.
But he made a valid point. It's like, it's not gonna work because you have all these. He said, like he said, you have Creed and you have Paige still having their Twitch and their YouTube. What happened to Thea? Why they got rid of her? He made a good point. Like, see, they don't give a shit. It's all money. It's all corporate.
Well, yeah, but I would say that the union would look into that and make it fair.
Yeah, I mean, it should. But that's going to be a long time from now. And I don't think it's going to happen. I agree with you. It's going to be a long time from now. But, how Boogie Slice said it right away, my apologies, gentlemen. You guys saw that, exclusive interview with the king of the concrete jungle, Slice Boogie. He did mention that on the interview. So it's like, he just wants to see, professional wrestlers be protected when it comes to injuries. I agree with that about that. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this evening for episode number 32. We thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, this is our home away pretty much episode for all this wrestling content that's happening this weekend. We will give you obviously the results or our thoughts about what happened this past week. This past weekend is this past weekend happening. Oh my God, you're distracting me with the Shaq soda. I'm not. Jeez, distracting me with the Shaq soda. I just want to go ahead and actually thank everyone to our subscribers who are tuning in. Thank you very much. And don't forget to spread the love and word. And also don't forget, at the end of this channel, who are new viewers, subscribe to that link right there. Little subscribe button right there. Subscribe it. And then you get the notification bell. When our episodes are up, our weekly episodes, our top fives, our exclusive interviews, and also do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Circle Debate, Instagram at Circle Debate, Twitter at Circle Debate, and also you can follow us now on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, which all those links will be below as well, description. We want to go ahead and thank you guys once again for tuning in, and do not forget this Sunday we will have our top 5 picks from each, who will be top 5 underrated wrestlers about that, you know, for the past, present, and future, who we feel that is underrated overall in the professional wrestling to this day. And also do not forget that we will have more huge announcements coming soon. We'll have, as we mentioned before in the last conversation, the last episode, we will be going live pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. We will give more details. And also, if you have any, you know, any top 5 you want us to do, comment right below. We would like to hear your comments.
In those comments.
Yeah, those comments. Why not? Give us our top 5 that you want us to do. Let us know. We would like to hear your feedback. And so don't forget to stay tuned. Next week, episode 33, we will go ahead and give you the results of what happened in Final Resolutions, Triple Mania, also New Japan J-Cup, who won the finals of the World Tag League and the Best of Super Juniors, and obviously going on what's going on in the pro wrestling world worldwide. Giving you that. And courtesy of the Dirty Heels, giving you guys, the people, what you want. That's right. And here we go. That's another one from Joe from the ring as well. Love you guys very much. As we say to you, I bid you Jew. Say good night. And good night. Bang! The devious one, Ivan C. The American hero of all heroes, Mike Lopez. And the Mr. Icy Hot Patch. Matthew, Mr. MGC, Matthew Steamboat, you know, a supporting shot with Ice Hot Patch.
Do you think he's gonna get that TNT title? It's gonna be the Icy Hot title. The FTW title? No, that's the Shaq Soda title.
All right, same to you guys. Good night, everybody. Salutes, and we'll see you on Sunday for the top 5, and we'll see you next Friday.